there are obviously some environmental consequences of fracking, and one of those consequences are earthquakes, especially earthquakes in areas that typically don't experience a lot of earthquakes. Oklahoma is one of them. Now, recent studies have indicated that there has been a huge increase of earthquakes in Oklahoma as a result of fracking. So according to reports, the United States Geological Survey, for its part, has said in the past that the injection of fracking wastewater into deep geologic formations was a likely cause of the increased seismic activity in Oklahoma. In fact, deep injection of wastewater is the primary cause of the dramatic rise in detected earthquakes and the corresponding increase in seismic hazard in the central United States. Now, there were some earthquakes in Oklahoma before, but now we're seeing them happen more and more often, and the magnitude of those earthquakes are actually much higher. There were more earthquakes of magnitude 3 or higher in Oklahoma last year than in California. And keep in mind, California is known for its earthquakes. Several were of a magnitude greater than 5 and caused considerable damage.
So if you go camping and you leave your campfire and it causes a fire that everybody, and you can be sued for that or go to jail. If you cause an earthquake, nothing?
Right.
Nothing? Nothing happens?
Nothing. Absolutely
that
nothing.
That seems ridiculous, right?
This is totally ridiculous. So there's two different things going on now. First, with fracking, of course, they're injecting water deep into the Earth's crust in order to free up the gas or the oil to make it come out. So not only does the wastewater injection wells cause these earthquakes, but also fracking itself, the actual drilling process. So what you'll hear is the fracking industry saying, no, there's no evidence of that. Well, now the USGS has said officially, yes, there is evidence. It's not just the second half, the injection well that disposes of the wastewater. It's also the first half as well, which is the drilling part. And what's funny about this is there are all these people in Oklahoma now, all these homeowners who have to buy earthquake insurance.
Yeah.
And the industry is not paying for that.
No, what's interesting about that is before the industry was like, you want earthquake insurance? Get the hell out of here.
Right.
You don't need that. But now, since there is a need for it because of what fracking is doing, I'm wondering if the industry is also going to start lobbying in favor of fracking because they stand to profit from it as well.
Because they can get more. I meant the fracking industry is not paying for the damage to your house.
I was referring to the insurance industry.
The insurance industry will make money off of that, so they're probably happy with it.
You know, the fracking thing, it goes to all the stories we do about science, and that some people just don't believe in science and don't believe in evidence, so okay. But something about the fracking one seems particularly weird to me because, A, we've all seen the videos of people turning on their water and then they light a match and then fire explodes out of their water. That seems to me that something doesn't seem right with this process.
Right.
Like that in and of itself. But also you can see there's tons of just very simple animations of what actually happens. You could see we are literally, because we're blasting that water, we're destroying the earth that's down there. I mean, you can explain it better than I can, but you can see simple animations of how we're literally destroying the earth beneath our feet. So when we watch all these science fiction movies about why we're going to have to leave the Earth one day, well, you know.
Well, and also it uses up a great deal of water. It's on average something like 4 million gallons of fresh water per well. And once that water is contaminated in that way, they can't really process it. You know, there's no really facilities. You'd have to truck it to a municipal area, a municipal treatment system in order to get these toxic chemicals out of them. That's why they inject them into the wastewater wells. That's what causes the faults to slip. You put water down there and it causes the fault to slip, and that causes the earthquake. So it's insane to me that you have a heavy-duty water usage industry that causes earthquakes, that can contaminate people's drinking water permanently, and yet there is very little regulation. The federal government, the Obama administration, is working on regulations to help rein in some of the worst abusers in the fracking industry, but it's happening too slow to actually help any of these people who are having to deal with, you know, a huge fracking drill pounding outside of their house, you know, 100 feet away, because in places like Oklahoma and Texas, there really aren't any laws to prevent that.
It's amazing.
Yeah, my advice would be move the fuck out of Oklahoma and Texas. That'd be my advice. Stay out of those red states.
I'm sure that works for a lot of people who have the money to do that.
You mean move the frack out of there.
Oh!
That's a Battlestar Galactica reference.
The problem is it's not just
I knew you
Oklahoma
did.
and Texas. I mean, there are several states at this point that are experiencing earthquakes as a result of fracking. There's Arkansas, Colorado, Ohio, Texas, as you mentioned. And if you look at Oklahoma, Oklahoma is actually the worst when it comes to experiencing these earthquakes. And I was amazed when I read the stats on it. So from 1978 to 2008, the state experienced, on average, 1 to 3 earthquakes of magnitude 3 or greater every year. In 2014, it had 562, more than 3 times the 180 in California.
There is an animation online that you can look up, and I wish I would have thought to send it to you, but it basically shows a timeline over the last 10 years, and you can see where earthquakes pop up, you know, and and then suddenly in Oklahoma it starts to just blossom, and it has this huge circle that opens up over Oklahoma where they have so many earthquakes now because of fracking. Now it is official according to the US Geological Survey. They're the ones who know, they're the ones who said it.